um, one that he sees as, quote, a heaven, an afterlife, gives me great comfort. The fact that he's actually there and able to oversee his family and sense his family is miraculous to me. I never thought of that. Um, and
Did you mention that family, him having a sense of family over there? I was hearing you correctly just now?
yes, did he mention anything specifically about that?
Yes. Yes, that's why I asked. I have that in the section coming up. He has a whole section on that.
Oh my
So
God.
just kidding.
Okay. Well, let me.
About family.
Okay. Please go to the next session then.
Okay. So he did have a few more sentences of this current section, which I'll finish here
Okay.
for you.
Thank you.
And what he said is, let's see, where were we? Okay, so he says that he credits you for teaching him how to be a responsible person, and that actually has been a key component in helping him sort of examine and cope with what happened that led to this occurrence. And he says, there are some things that I could have done differently that would have protected my life better. And tragically, I had not done that. I do not take a separation of this magnitude that would mean my actual loss of life. It keeps me from my family and friends as anything that I take in any way lightly, Mom. I look at my life as something that I took great pride in. I swear to God, he says, you have no idea how much I wish I could just roll back time and pretend that what had happened hadn't happened. And he was crying when he said this, when he conveyed this.
That sounds like him.
He goes on to say, I hope you are able to convey, Seraphim, how very distraught I am at the type of separation that has occurred between me and my family. And I told him that I would just literally write down, everything that I heard him say on that. And then he goes on to mention about family over there on the other side. And he says, I can't tell you, Mom, however, how thankful I have been, though, to have found that there was family over here in heaven that goes way far back, that was ready to greet me. I didn't even know that we had relatives that went that far back, that came out from everywhere and were just so welcoming and warm to me and excited to meet me. He says, it honestly has been a saving grace to be able to see members of our ancestral family come forth and be here for me in my time of great need. These are people that honestly came forth and had my back in a way that kept me from feeling as alone and disconnected from family as I otherwise would have been. I am not without family here. Although, he says, even though our ancestral relatives have come forward to act as a sort of guidepost and bastion of support, they have in no way taken the place of my immediate family. I also want to tell you, Mom, that our ancestors have made a sort of pledge to help guide and heal the living family members too, as we collectively face a tragedy of this magnitude. So that is what he had wanted me to impart with regards to family members dating all the way back who have come out and have been there for him to welcome him and to try to help him sort of face this and make sure that he is not alone. That is something that, in my experiences as a medium with heaven, is absolutely a saving grace, is that family really does come forward and make sure to kind of enshroud the person so they're not left with this just total shock of being separated from their loved ones on this side. It's not a replacement. It's just to sort of help soothe and make sure that a person doesn't feel totally alone, like they have no one to talk to or no one to sort of help face the things that he's facing with. And the sense that I got is his family absolutely, or your family has absolutely been there and allows him to talk to them and kind of vent and kind of share his sorrows. So he was very, sure that you had a very clear sense of that, a very strong sense of that.
Thank you.
Did that? Oh, no problem.
Yes,
I
it
thought,
means it means if you say that you sensed it was my family specific, it means he met his grandfather for the first time. My dad. My dad died when I was 17,
oh,
so it means he met his grandfather for the first time.
oh, oh, wonderful. I have no doubt that his grandfather, your father, was absolutely among those people. Um, and in the sense that he really gave it, that there were, I mean, that it went generations upon generations upon generations back. So I don't know if you guys have a big family, but
We do. We have a large family and came from large families, and
really,
yes, his grandfather on his father's side um, was one of 11 children. So then their parents could go back. So, yes, he met a lot of people. They're all passed away. So he would have met a lot of people that he had never met before. And yes, a lot of family members, a lot of generations of family members, yes. Both sides were Catholic. So yes, large families. Lots
oh,
of
wow, yeah, I come from a Catholic family too. I definitely hear you on that point. There's just a lot of family. That's it. He definitely had this sense of like wonder and awe when he was conveying that part of it. There was like more family than he ever even imagined existed. So I think they have absolutely been sort of keeping him kind of like, I almost get this image of him sort of surrounded like in like a sort of like hospice bed, like him resting in a sort of like hospital bed, and there's just like family everywhere around him, like kind of keeping him like a little egg, like just kind of protecting him and kind of just keeping him company and making sure that he's never kind of left alone or anything. That there always is family there, and they're always just making sure he has company and that he's able to talk to. And that's one thing that he had conveyed when he was saying, he had mentioned, you know, he didn't really was someone that had no idea what to expect in terms of like an idea of an afterlife. And he had mentioned that he has friends that he knows people that just believe that, you know, when you die, and that there isn't kind of anything that continues on. And he said he was so amazed to find like components of a civilization, that there's people there. There's your family, and there's friends, and there's you know, my own experience as a medium, there's even one's pet. There really is like a whole life, a civilization over there. And so the image that I got of him was him resting in a bed, like a sort of hospital bed, and a lot of sort of caring people standing over him and talking with him and sitting down and just keeping watch over him. Like they really never let him alone in a good way. Like, you know, he would never sort of like, you know, look around and find that the place was empty. The room was always filled with people coming and going and sort of just bringing him things that might cheer him up. And that was something that he had conveyed was really surprising, he said, because he knows a lot of people probably wouldn't expect that the life over here could be so detailed. And so he definitely wanted to convey, he was very, you know, gratefully surprised to find that that was available for him.
so if I've
Okay.
understood you correctly, when you reached out to him, there was an immediate spark of happiness that I had proceeded through this process, that this was something that he was thankful for.
I wouldn't say that he was thankful that he had crossed over. I don't think that he would have ever chosen that.
No,
He,
me crossing back over to him to talk to him,
oh,
to make it.
you mean, I'm sorry, you mean to communicate like what we're doing right now?
Yes, is he happy with
Yes.
that?
Oh,
Okay.
yes, very, very much so. It has meant the world to him. In fact, here, I'll get from him get from him him addressing your question. Give me just a moment, and I'll see how he wants me to say it. He is saying that it has meant everything to him since he has crossed over to be able to have an experience like this. He can't believe it, where that he is getting to convey to you directly, Mom, his all of his thoughts and feelings that he has had about this. And it is enormously important to him, and he absolutely feels a sense of great joy, like that this is just everything that he could ever want is to be able to convey to you. The sense I'm getting is to be able to connect with you and to be able to share our sort of like a mutual feelings on this heart-rending tragedy. That this is very, very important to him. He absolutely feels a great sense of joy and relief at being able to convey these ideas.
Can you convey to him that his mom loves him, forgives him, and knows he would never ever have purposely put us through this, but he is so forgiven. Let him know that he's forgiven.
Okay, so I'm wanting to convey that your mom is saying that she would that she understands you would never intentionally have put everyone through this, and that you are, and she says this with great earnestness, like great sincerity, that you are forgiven, that she understands you would have never have chosen this, that you are definitely forgiven. I'm just wanting to respond, and give me a moment, I can get this response. He says that he says that he loves you so much, and that he cannot believe how fortunate he is to have a mom and to have a family that would ever forgive him for such a stupid act like this. That he can't believe how lucky he is to have a mom who would say that to him, when there are so many parents who would never forgive their son for making such a stupid mistake. And he is openly weeping, just with such gratitude and so much love and appreciation. I think he feels like he has like the best mom in the world. That he just could never have asked for someone who was more compassionate and understanding, and he wants to do right by you. I am assuming, and let me get a little bit of what he means by that, because I'm not sure what he means by that. I was sensing that you also were saying that. Could you elaborate on that? I think there's two parts to this, and the first part that he said is he wants you to know that he is going to do everything he can to do right by you in his life over here, which he said is a lot easier to do over here in heaven. He said you might be interested to know that it is easier to kind of sort of abide by one's highest principles, and that is absolutely what he's going to do. And I also picked up, and he has another section that's coming, but I wanted to add that I picked up that he also, that this involves close relations with family as well. That this involves getting to know his grandfather and getting to know some of the other relatives that you might have been aware of who were, outstanding